Okay, guys, I had submitted a video as a response to somebody. It was a Ron Paul ad. I responded to the comment makers in the video, but this is a video where I want to express my support for Ron Paul. Um, I will be doing everything I can in the East Bay area to help get some more supporters and make some more people aware. That seems to be the biggest part of the battle right now. You know, it's funny how many times I go out and just mention to people, hey, you know, are you part of the Ron Paul revolution? Do you know who Ron Paul is? And most of the time, nobody knows. People don't know still. And you know, I guess they don't watch the news. Lord knows I didn't until I heard Ron Paul speak on YouTube, and a lot of my friends also aren't necessarily YouTube geeks like they should be. um, so anyway, we got to get out there. We got to tell more people, hey, you know, just Google Ron Paul. Once they hear it, they are good to go. I have a number of people who are going to be caucusing, or I'm sorry, voting in the primaries for Ron Paul that learned about him from me uh, in a little less than 2 months. So, you know, I think that's something we all have to do it. I myself, unfortunately, am a permanent resident alien from Canada, so I don't get a voice in any of this. From a living here for 11 years perspective, man, this country needs a serious cleanup. And from the perspective of back home, you know, if I lived up in Canada, if the economy collapses like it looks like it's going to here in the States, we could face some pretty troublesome times up ahead with our neighbors to the north, and of course, you know, being from the north, our neighbors to the south. And I don't want to see that happen. I'd like to see the United States stand as a sovereign nation with you know, prosperous, free future full of peace. And I think all of us can agree that that's really the best America that we could possibly want. Um, so there was some stuff on the news about you know, Ron Paul anti-Semitic remarks or racist remarks, and you know, it's funny. The reports are from the 80s and 90s. You know, lots of people were making lots of remarks in the 80s and 90s, and lots of things get published that you know, shouldn't necessarily. But at the same time, I believe in a person's right to speak freely. So if that is somebody's opinion of something, and I know that Dr. Ron Paul doesn't share those opinions, he doesn't view anybody by their group, you know, be they female or African American or Chinese or uh, three-armed mutant. He wouldn't care. They're a living being, and they've got rights: a right to liberty, a right to life, and a right to the pursuit of happiness. And that's what he vows to protect. He has a record to back it up. The only candidate with a record to back it up. If you don't believe yet, check out his website. Go look up congressional website and learn how he's voted. All those times you see, you know, 412 to 1, that was Ron Paul, Dr. No. And yeah, Dr. No to the government, man. No, no big government. This is ridiculous. We make fine decisions as human beings here. You know, I'm very seldom am I put off by another citizen of the United States. But then I see our government act in ways that are just atrocious when dealing with other countries, and it has no conscience for our place in the world. The fact that the world is a place where we have to be respectful of other nations. We haven't been acting that way as a country, and primarily that has to do with the activity of our bloated government. Really need to change that, turn it around. All for small government, all for conservative fiscal policies and good economic policies, sound money. Um, that all sounds really great. And I'm an immigrant, so the immigration issue, you know, go, Dr. Paul. You're right. You're absolutely right. You know, it's a hard line to take, but in this current economic system, the illegal immigrants don't realize it yet, but they're in a bad way, and they're going to be in an even worse way the worse things get. So the best thing to do is to encourage them to go back, go to where they came from, let us fix our economic issues here, you know, go through the process, and as soon as we have a stronger economy, it'll be a non-issue. We won't need a scapegoat of blaming, illegal immigrants or people who are here unmarked as a problem. We'll see them as a necessity. If we're truly productive and have that kind of job security here that a strong economy brings, we'll enjoy the help from all over the world like we used to and like we should again. So let's get back to the Constitution. It's funny, in the last couple of months, in the last month mostly, since the start of this whole caucuses and primaries thing, I've heard I've heard more things that Ron Paul says coming out of the mouths of people who don't have the record um, than ever. I heard Fred Thompson mention the Constitution. Oh my God! What kind of world do we live in where somebody who is blessed by the media, talks about the Constitution? Um, so it's getting a little ridiculous, people. Anyway, that's my video. Let's see how it works out. Thanks.